Good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall and Vollmer. And today, I have some info for you. I have some announcements, shout out. I have a YouTube query question to answer. So there's a few bits and pieces to do. So bear with me one moment whilst I'll just get the iPad. Hello, Jenny Kirk. Welcome to my stream. And I just only broadcasted it just briefly on, put it up on YouTube. Hello, Dundee Road, and welcome to the stream. So, like I said, Kent Train fan, welcome to the stream. Everyone's joining in, so it's lovely to hear from you all. And we have on my track Clayton's Irish Model Trains. Welcome. Now, the reason I only did a live stream only just the other day, and the reason why I'm doing today's live stream is because I've got some information for you, and it's to do with my Bachmann 158. So I thought I would let you know about some information on it. And also, I've got a new recruit. Now, this weekend just gone. Hello, King Fox Junction, Anthony from Strathmore. And so it's all good to hear from you all. So this is so cool. So bear with me just one moment and we will get cracking. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave you with a quick view of the layout for those of you who haven't seen it before. That's what it kind of looks like for the moment. I'll be straight back. So, I've got lots to talk about today. So there is my newly acquired 158. I now have a brand new locomotive, and it's just coming into shot now. This is this 37 bargain of the century, and we'll get onto that very shortly indeed. So that's running around with the tanks, and that's why I bought that particular 37. It is DCC. It's just that there's no sound at the moment on any of them. Actually, there isn't any sound in the 37, but there is on my 158. So we're going to have... Right, so one of the things I wanted to sort of chat to you about today is basically a lot of people have done a lot of reviews on the Bachmann 158. And a few people, yeah, I'm actually growing on the 37, Anthony. I've got quite a few. I've got I think it's about 5 now or so. So there was a criticism about the Bachmann 158, which I'm hoping to help you guys out with. And a few people had remarked about the volume on the 158. And I'd seen a few reviews, and some people saying that the factory fitted sound mon was quite low, and although on the Bachmann factory standard one you had function 27 and 28 to adjust the volume. Hello Roy Watson, welcome to the stream, and I'm very well, thank you. Even though you turned the volume up, it still was pretty low. Now this weekend had just gone. Fred from Wilbury Castle and Gary over from Cheeky Tech took a wander to my local model show, and my local model show is here in Alton. And Sharon, hang on a minute, that's kind of all gone. Bachmann 37s are good. Hang on a second. Yes, hi Sharon Sherrington. I'm just trying to catch up because all of a sudden it was kind of got like Tetris, you know, it all of a sudden somebody's just transferred a load of blocks to you. So it's kind of like that. Yeah, the accurate scale ones, yeah, that should be quite good. But to be honest, I've always thought that the Bachmann 37s were really good. Like the 47s, they're just kind of good, sturdy, reliable locomotives, and they're very accurate in their representation. So I've always kind of liked them. Right, okay, right. So Stephen, then welcome to the stream. Hello, Creeping Jane. Good evening and welcome to the stream. So the crux of it is, I went to see, went to the Autumn on the Railway exhibition, and I went to see a good friend of mine who I've known for a little while now, who does some of my sounds, which I mentioned before in my previous video. And it was Kevin Dickinson over... okay, Steve, thank you. I'm sorry about that. I just want to make sure I get it right. I was just going by what your title of your channel. And hello, Goaz1259, welcome to the stream. So, like I said, I've got a number of sound chips from Kevin over at Coastal DCC. He put one in on my 66 GBRF, which is actually on the layout, and on my Class 50s. I've got about 4 of them with him. And I spoke to him about my 158, and right, yeah, they are early releases actually, Jenny. Yeah, both of those are actually early releases. This one here, that's my new one, and I'll get onto that shortly. So basically, I spoke to him about the sound fitting of the sound setting of the volume on the factory fitted 158s, and I did actually ask him. I said to him, look, to me it seems quite low even at its highest setting. And he's also a number of fellow YouTubers have also did a review on the Bachmann 58, and basically what they've done is commented on basically the sound volume of the 158. Bear with me one moment. And right, so just a slight hiccup there. So the upshot is there is actually a CV setting that you can have to put onto your 158 to actually get a better sound volume of it. It's basically the master sound volume for the 158. So if you're finding that your Bachmann 158 factory fitted, which is what mine is sounding a bit too low even on its highest settings, you can adjust the CV. Now the decoder in that 158 is actually a Zimo decoder, and I spoke to Kevin and he said to me that the CV that you need, so for those of you who are interested, is CV266, and that controls the master volume. And what he told me is that the sound range for the master volume is between 0 and 255, and he said that the default is usually about 64. But what I did is I read the CV266 on my 158 to actually find out what the actual default was on it, and actually the default on it was 0. So that must mean that it's on its lowest setting. So now I knew what it was, I actually adjusted it slightly higher, just to 20, to see what it did, and it made an actually massive difference to the sound. And it's not overly loud, but you can definitely notice the difference in the sound volume overall on the 158. So if you do have a factory fitted sound 158, then you may want to try and use CV266 to adjust the master volume on it, and also see how you get on. But obviously that's at your own risk. But also I strongly recommend that you... Yeah, it is good to know. That's why I'm doing this video, mainly because of that. Because I know that I've seen, because before I bought my 158, I did actually go on YouTube to do the research, and because I was going to buy one, and a few people had commented that the sound volume seemed a bit too low on it. So hello, Dave from Cotswold, welcome to my stream. It's very nice to have you on board. So yeah, so that's the CV you need, 266. So if you, like I said, I strongly recommend that you just go and read your CVs first. Read the CV first, see what your default, see what it is at the moment, make a little note of it, adjust it, and then if it all goes wrong, just readjust it back to what you had, and then that should basically put it back to the way it was. So that is, so that's pretty much that for that. And I'd like to thank Kevin Dickinson from Coastal DCC, because Diesel Terminal, hello and welcome to the stream. So yes, it's really, really good, and I'm really pleased with it. A couple of things is I wanted to catch up with a YouTuber called Tony Slight. Now Tony Slight had left me a message on my last video about my Freightliner. Hello Philip Page and welcome to the stream. Had asked me about my signage on my layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically show you once again where I get my signage from and what I do. Now he was after my Freightliner signage, which I have, and I will show you shortly. So I ordered some Freightliner signage, and the company that I use is a company called Eagle One Model Rail Signs. There you go. And he's also on eBay, and his shop is J Mupton, I think is on J Mupton 2000, and he's on eBay. And I've always gone to him for all of my signage because the quality of the signage is absolutely second to none. It's absolutely beautiful, and it looks very authentic. So I'll show you what I've got done from him. And I first met him through my original layout called Behringer. And this is some of the signage he did. This is the Freightliner one that Tony Slight was asking me about. So what I've done is I normally get them off of J Mupton, of model rail signs. And what I do is I usually, hi John Warner, welcome to the stream. And basically I get photocopies done at my local printers and keep the originals. So then that way, if I muck it up, I can always take the originals back to the printers and get them to make another set. So that was for the Freightliner ones. So that's what he's done. So once again, it is Eagle One Model Rail Signs, and it's J Mupton. And it's absolutely fantastic. And you can just say to him what you'd like done, and he'll do some custom signs for you. He's also done for me some speed signs for me in the past. He's also done, for those of you who like, I've also had done from him some NSE signs, which I've had done from back in the day when I had Behringer. And that is the actual Behringer signage there with the double arrows. Highly recommend him. Really do. Also, if you like NSE, also got the NSE boards and things like that to tell you where the toilets are and the way out. So all those kind of signs, platform signage. Thank you, Jenny. I'm glad you said that. I don't normally say that. I just leave it up to people's kind of discretion, really. So Tony, I hope this has helped you, because he is a fab bloke, and he's also recently done for me my signage, Southwest Train styling, for Mildenhall, which I've still got to put onto the layout. So that's for the Southwest Trains earlier version, and then also because I was thinking of building the train care depot, which I still may do, and that's for the Mildenhall train care depot. So for those of you who are really interested in this, he's a really great bloke, and he's very reasonably priced. And if you message him, he won't take forever to get back to you. And you can just, like I said, tell him your custom signs. Hello, Brockwell Lane. Right, actually funnily enough, I caught Jenny's, because I worked today, and when I got home, I caught Jenny's Kirk's stream, her first stream this morning. And she seemed very underwhelmed by it all, to be quite honest with you. But she did actually put something up an hour ago, which I haven't caught up with. So I need to catch up with that. And hello, I Like Transport, and welcome to the stream. What they are is they are mounted on high. The signs are mounted on high quality card. And what I tend to do with them is I will, they're quite thick cards and it's like glossy cards, so they're durable. So what I do, the way I do signs is basically I'll take this to the printer, for example, I'll have a printout made, and then what I'll do is with the printout that I've got made on A4 sheet of paper, which is good quality A4 sheet of paper. Hello Merv Trigg, yes, you finally caught me for once. I will mount it onto mount board and just to beef it up a bit and make it a bit more sturdy. And if I just show you, I'm just going to spin you around, so don't be too scared. I'm just going to show you one that's just here, and I'm just going to crank you down a little bit, if I can. Right, we're going to crank you down a little bit. I'm going to let my 37 go by. It's just kind of hogging the light at the minute. Right, come on, go, 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 go. As it's trundling around. Right. Right, so that's the sign there. And basically, the sign is mounted onto card on both sides, and then the two posts are just matchsticks. And then I've just kind of glued them together. So that's all it is, it's just matchsticks, and then I've painted it out in this kind of aluminium. Let's see if I can get this out. Oh, I'm not very good at this, sorry. Right, so that's one that is there, and I've got so many others still to do, but they are great quality signs. Right, so I'm going to get you back up. I'm going to crank you back up again. Right, yes, so the 158, when it comes round again, I'm going to stop it, because then I can sort of talk you through it and sort of give you a sort of I was hoping that I'm hoping that they do a livery. I don't know what they've announced, to be honest, because I kind of missed it because I have been working today. I'm hoping that they might come out with a South West Trains 158 or South Western Railway 158. So we shall see. So my 158 is just coming into shot now. Hello David Atkins, welcome to the stream. Bear with me one moment, folks. Right, so, oh yeah. Right, okie. Right, so that's that one stopped. Right, 37.59, and right, there we go. Right, so we've come to a complete grind. No, I see that they've got Network Southeast, because Richard was doing the Hornby magazine video, and he was showing off the 159 Network Southeast, which was really what I really liked. Right, so what I wanted to show you is I'm going to show you my 158 once again, but this time what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to demonstrate. So for those of you who've just joined, this is my 158, which I did on my last live stream. But for those of you who did miss it, there is a CV change for you. For those of you who have bought a factory-fitted, sound-fitted Class 158. If you find that the volume is too low, and you've tried the volume up button on the function list, and that still doesn't do it for you, you can alter the CV setting 266, and like I said, I strongly recommend you read the CV first, find out what it is, and then up it to suit your needs. And obviously you do that at your own risk, but that is factory fitted with the Zimmo decoder. So if you buy like U-Choose or somebody else or Lego Man Biffo, their settings and CVs may be different, but this is what I have. So see you soon, Costa Small. Nice to have you on the stream. So I'm gonna switch her on. Now, what I didn't tell you on my last live stream is that I actually did, when I started it up as a warm up, which sounded like this. Oh, hang on a minute, it didn't sound like that because I'm still on the other one. Hold the phone. Right, here we go. So I may very well up the volume a bit more, and you can actually, right, hang on a minute, let's try something. Okay, did you guys notice or hear the difference that it's gone up? The volume went up. Now that was with shift 28, so it was on its lowest setting, but I've now changed the setting so it now sounds much better. It sounds much more audible. Yeah, so this is a standard factory, once again, factory fitted class 158, but I've just altered that CV just to make it just that little bit louder. Not that it's so overpowering that it's overpowering everything else, but just so when it's running around the layout, you can actually hear it and not hear it just going on the tracks. So you can hear it's definitely louder. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to go through it all again because I did it all on my last live stream, but what I will do is I'll just do a startup sequence, because some of you may not know that this locomotive has 4 different ways of starting, and this diesel multiple unit I should say. So what I've just done there was the warm start, so I'm just going to shut it down. Now the next one that you can have is a warm start with compressor. Yes. So John, basically, if it doesn't apply if you've got a non-sound fitted locomotive. This is purely because a number of people on YouTube have reviewed the 158 with sound and have sort of mentioned that the overall volume is a bit on the low side. And when I got this one, I actually agreed with them. And what I did is, whilst I was at the Autumn Model Railway exhibition this weekend, I spoke to Kevin over at Coastal DCC and explained to him that I felt that the sound was too low, and asked him if he could help me. And he suggested, and he said, "Hi, Rachel from Worcester Junction," if I got this right, put my teeth in. So he suggested changing CV266. And basically, if you just alter it, read it first, see what the default is or what you have at that point, because then that's just your base to work with, and then you can adjust the CV, make it slightly higher and the value higher, and then you should get a higher sound out of it. I only put it up. Mine was actually set at 0 for some reason. Mine was set at 0, which is probably why it was so low. That was the default, but I just adjusted it to 20, and basically that made a huge difference, as you can tell. Now, he did actually say to me that the range for the sound is between 0 and 255, 0 being the lowest and the range 255 being the highest that you can get it, but you will seriously probably damage it. So I've actually, if anyone's thinking of doing it, I would seriously suggest doing it in increments until you kind of get the right level so you don't damage your 158. So starting the 158 on the second version, which is the warm start with compressor, which is F13 on and then F1. Now, I should just say, I hope that the information I've given you has helped. And if you have any questions, please do ask. So we're going to go for the second one, which is F13 and then 1. And then once it's kind of settled, you disengage the F13 function and then it will idle normally. So this is the second way of starting the 158. So I'm now going to shut it down and then we're going to start it up the third way. So the third way of starting it is a cold start. And that is with function 5 and then function 1. So that's the cold start. And then the last one is the cold start with compressor. So we're just going to shut it down. So I'm going to shut it down and we're going to do another cold start, this time cold start with the compressor. So this is the fourth and final way to start it. So you need to have F5 on, F13 on, and then F1. It could do with a better speaker, to be honest, Diesel Freight Spotter in Kent. So again, disengage F5 and F13, and it will just simmer down. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it around the layout just so you can hear it. Now this is how I've got it set to level 20 on the CV setting 266, and that's perfectly adequate for me. Obviously, you can adjust it to suit you need if you feel you need to. Otherwise, you could just use the basic settings that come with the 158. It definitely sounds louder and much better. The louder you go, the more likely you are to distort the volume. So you've got to find that balance between upping it without distorting the volume. I'm just going to let it run round. It won't take too long. It's only a diddy layout. Now you can put it on coasting as well, which is F6. Thank you, I Like Transport. I love it, actually. I think it's brilliant. I think Batman did a grand job, actually, on it. I think they've done a really good job on it. And I like the brakes on it as well. I like the brake function on it, which is the F2. Yeah, the GWR one I really like. I was torn between getting the East Midlands one, but hopefully Batman may at some point bring out please bring out like I said, I'm hoping that Batman will bring out the newer livery. So I'm going to just do the brakes. I'd actually hit that. Yeah, well, to be honest with you, it was well over my budget. Now, once again, I'll just reiterate something that was said to me. I'm just going to shut it down. That Batman, going forward, are apparently making smaller production runs of their items. And so therefore, if you are actually interested in buying any of their items going forward, then you need to be a bit quick about getting them. Because their production runs are going to be more limited. Right, I'm just taking the sound off just so you can hear me. And I'm going to bring in my next locomotive. So, which is what I'm going to do, and then we can have a little chat about that. Right, so, I'm just going to park up my 158. So bear with me one moment. Right, so that's going to go over there, that's cool. Right, has it stopped? Yeah, that stopped, right. So let me bring over the 37 so you can all have a look at her. Right, it's just coming around. Right. I'm just going to move my iPad out of the way so you can have a look. And here she comes into shot. Alright. She's actually just gone flying past me. Right, let's move you. There you go. Right, so. Oh. Sorry, me and my all fingers and thumbs. Right, so this is my newbie. So, like I mentioned, this weekend I went to the Alton Model Show and I had a great time. I went with Gary over at Cheeky Tech and also Fred from Wilbury Castle. And whilst I was there, I picked up this beauty. It was going for an absolute song. And I have to say, I cannot tell you how impressed and blown away I was by the price of this thing. This is a proper, genuine Batman 37. albeit resprayed. It was originally Dutch liveried, and basically I picked this up for just £50, and that for a Batman 37 is totally brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I was so pleased to pick this up, and that's the thing about going to some of these exhibitions, especially some of the smaller ones. You do find some really, really good bargains. In fact, he had a number of 37s going for sale, and basically, you know, they had quite a few 37s there going, ranging between 55 to 65, and I totally agree, Jenny, to be honest. And sometimes what I'll do with sometimes when I'm running trains is I'm actually listening to music and dancing at the same time whilst watching them. So, and this 37 is a real beauty, a real find. I mean, £50 for a Batman locomotive is fantastic. So it is one of the earlier ones, but she runs really, really great. And hello, Ian Ryan, thank you for joining. Yeah, like I said, the live stream is primarily to answer a few questions and also to just let you know about the 158 sound fix for those of you who are interested in it. So it is absolutely, I love this Class 37, and I'm just going to let it run. I'm going to send her on her merry way like the Generation game. Off she goes with the tanks. Okay, off she goes. And away she goes. So, hello again. Right, you're back to my face. Right, I have to do it all on my own because I don't have anybody to help me. Yeah, 50 quid, and it was actually 55, but he knows me and he said, yeah, you can have it for 50, and I just almost like broke his arm off for it. If I had more money to spend, I would have actually bought another 2 or 3 because he actually had about 4 or 5 of them, all more or less at that price range. Now, just to show you how good. Yeah, well, if you think that's good. Last year I was at the same show because it is my local show, the Autumn Model Show, and I picked up another bargain. This is probably more up Jenny Street because it's a bit more kind of blue. So, hello Peter Shaw, welcome to the stream. So I picked up this last year, a Hornby Super Detailed Class 50 at the show at Alton for £65. So it goes to show you, sometimes at some of these shows you can pick up some real bargains, and there's, you know, I mean, and this thing's absolutely brilliant. It runs really lovely like all 50s do. Yeah, this is definitely not a Lima. This is a Hornby Super Detail 50, and I gave this one a good old once over before I purchased it because generally speaking with Hornby 50s, and I'll show you just a quick little guide on them, as I love 50s, as you can see. Things to look out for on Class 50s, if you're buying or thinking of buying a Hornby 50, is always look for things like the steps on the front to see if they're all complete. I know you can get them from Peter Spares, but the steps generally is a good thing. Also, things that go missing are things that's the way that you handle it. If you handle it at the wrong place, you risk breaking these. So, which is like the compressors, and I've seen a lot of them broken as well. Also, mishandling means you can break louvers, and they're very delicate when removing the body. So you have to be really careful removing the body on 50s. But this one, she's a real beauty. For £65 for a large logo, Hornby Super Detailed, that's just absolutely insane. And so yeah, So I have picked up a few bargains in the past at the autumn model show, definitely. So yeah. Right, now I'm going to do something that I don't normally do on here, and that is shout outs. I don't normally do shout outs. It's not normally my kind of thing, because I don't want to sort of encourage people to sort of say, oh, can you sort of give my layout a shout out or whatever, because when I do things I want to do it because I feel like it's worth it, and you know, I don't want to sort of sort of give people who don't really follow them or not really interested, because I just want to be fair to everybody that watches, and I'm totally unbiased really, with people who watch this stream. So the first one I wanted to kind of mention is the Oscar 02, and his layout has got so much character to it. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's kind of like it's 70s stroke 80s stroke 90s, and his layout isn't exactly, not necessarily always got the modern locomotives, but there's so much character to it, and it is absolutely brilliant. So what I'll do is we'll put it in the chat if I can. The Oscar 02. I never turn around and say to people that you should check it out, or you should what I say to people is basically judge it for yourself. I'm not saying that you should give them a like or subscribe or whatever, but if you feel it's something that interests you and it's kind of your kind of thing, then by all means. Now, a layout I come across recently is by a chap called James Wareham. Now, James Wareham, I met him a few weeks ago with Gary over at Cheeky Tech at Guildford, and he told me about his layout. And to my amazement, when I checked out his layout, it's just really, really awesome. It really is. I mean, sometimes when people turn around and say to you, "I'll go and check out this layout," and you've never heard it before, you might think it's like early stages, not really that interesting. But there's so much detail on this layout. It's still a work in progress, but it's absolutely fantastic. It's a large loft layout, circuit layout, running modern stuff, and he runs stuff like Batman 450s, which is like the Southwest Trains, Cola stuff. So if you like that kind of thing, go check him out and see if you like, and if you do, give him a like and a subscribe. If not, then that's fine too. But I just wanted to give him a mention because, I think he's only got about 29 subscribers, and I cannot believe it. And I think once people get whiff of his layout, I think it will go a long way. So I'll put that into the chat as well. And like I said, you don't have to like or subscribe, but if you want to have a quick check of it, then by all means do so and make your own mind up and your own judgment on it. So that's the second one. And Kev has been a subscriber, Kev Bygrave has been a subscriber of mine for some time, and he's just sort of told me that he's only just started putting his loft layout onto YouTube. So it's very sort of, it's a pretty big layout, and but he's still working on it. It's a work in progress. So again, if you'd like to go and check him out, then feel free to do so, because like I said, I'll let you make your own minds up as to what you think of his layout and whether or not it suits you, and whether it's something that you might find that you might enjoy. And so I'm going to put that into the chat as well. Now, hopefully I've spelt it all correctly. So those are my kind of free shout outs. So I don't normally do things like that. Yes. I can't remember how I found him, to be honest, because if I can find a link, I will put it on the description after the stream. but I can't remember how I found him, whether it was through Model Railway. Maybe I've done it as James Ware in Model Railway or something like that. So try narrowing it down if you're going to do the search and see if it comes up with it. But basically it's all modern image circuit stuff, and it's a real big layout, it really is. And I was really, really taken aback when I saw his layout because, like I said, when I met him at the show, you know, he didn't seem all that overly kind of, I wouldn't say enthusiastic is the right word, but he didn't big it up too much, and you know, it didn't seem like it was a big deal. And I was really surprised at the quality of the work that was there. Did you manage to find it, Peter? Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wrap up the stream, as it were. What have we got here? Actually, yeah, so has anyone got any other questions or anything they'd like to ask before we wrap up the stream tonight? I know I only did one the other day, but I just wanted to get the information across about the Bachmann 158 if you actually wanted or interested. The other thing is, I will be going to the Basingstoke Model Railway exhibition, and it's looking like the Sunday the 15th of March. That's currently what's penciled in, and hopefully I'll be going with Gary over from Cheeky Tech, because I'm scheduled to work, I think, this Saturday, which I'm currently trying to negotiate getting off so I can attend. Oh, okay. Cool. So you managed to find it, John? And good. Like I said to about everybody's channels, because I don't want to be seen to be like being favouritism to one channel or the other channel. It's just I just felt that these channels actually, I thought, deserves more recognition, I guess, and I just wanted just to put it out there, and I'll let you guys make your own mind up as to what you think of the actual channels themselves. And like I said, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. So like I said, I'm just going to wrap this up now. I don't know if we are going to do anything else. So if anyone's got any final questions. My thumper, I can't run my thumper again, Paul Higgins. I no longer have it. That got sold on. Hello, Dungeon. Well, I didn't even see you come on, Paul. But hello and goodbye. Yeah, like I said, it's been good doing the stream, and like I said, I didn't really want to do another stream, but I wanted to do it to put the information out there that I needed to get across. So once again, if you are after any signs, it is Eagle One Model Railway signs, and he can do any signs you want. Like I said, he did my old school Freightliner stuff. Bye, I like transport. So until the next time, it's goodbye from Mildenhall and Vollmer. Bye everyone, goodbye, see you, bye.